What's up, fuckers?
You need to leave!
I can swear in the first 8 seconds now. Thank you, YouTube update. We are live with another Psycho review. Let's roll. So first up, we have Negro Bandito. 500 test, 300 mass, 200 Shren, 5 IUs of GH. That is totally fine. Now, would I run Shren forever and ever? Is it perfectly fine to use in this context? Probably. Now, I would push the GH up to 6 IUs if possible. 6 to 8, somewhere within there is a great start. 10 is perfect. Like, if you can run 10, go ahead and run 10 all day, my bro. So for that one, I'm going to give you a sparkling 9 out of 10. Matt Kiefer, 210 test, 490 mass per week, 15 IUs GH per day. I do that hybrid shit. So what are you, like a fucking CrossFit bro? 210 test, 490 mass. It's such a random fucking number. Like, you would think you take that 10 from the test, move it to mass near 200 and 500. I don't know how you break that up to get that number. That's some high level pulling back on the syringe, making sure you hit the one little tick mark and probably fucking not even hitting it perfectly because there's probably air in there somewhere. I guess if you're a heavy aromatizer, that makes sense. I assume so because it doesn't seem like you'd ever run that ratio otherwise. 15 IUs of GH per day. Fuck ton of GH, but if you feel good on it, like all means, go for it. He's doing a lot of running and bullshit, so, you know, a little out of my comfort zone, I guess you could say. I'm not a big cardio person. I try not to be the best at exercising. You know, I play real sports. So we need to think about it in that context. So because of that, I'd say keeps them dry, keeps them performing well. GH in there for recovery. Makes sense. 9 out of 10. Twisted Root Design Company. Brandon, 300 test, 200 mass, 200 primo, 200 Shren. Perfect. Low, moderate doses, different compounds. He's in a cut. Probably didn't need Shren right away, but I mean, everybody is tempted by the golden nectar of the gods once in a while, so shit happens, right? Need to dial it back for TRT. Yes, you can't run Shren in TRT. It's not Shren replacement therapy. It's testosterone replacement therapy. So yes, if you're in a holding phase or if your blood work's starting to get skewed, definitely pull back 200 tests or so. If you need to have a little bit of primo in there, that's understandable. That does happen sometimes. We aromatize a little heavier. I'm one of those. Sometimes on 200 tests, I need to add like 100 primo in there just to keep my estrogen in check. That's potentially a resolution, or just using an AI if that's a problem. I know he was heavier in the past. He might aromatize more heavily just due to some of that. And, you know, he might have some breast tissue accrual just from when he was heavier also. Not really sure, but that's just my recommendation there. So based on everything shown here, I'd say it's a 10 out of 10. Great. I have no fucking complaints. We are off to a hot start. We'll see if there's any stupid shit as we go. Duncan Campbell, 300 test, 300 EQ, 30 milligrams of Anavar. Also another great cycle. Cannot complain. I love it. Would I like to see primo over boldenone? Yes. Or a combination of them? Yes. But is there a shortage right now that makes it a pain in the ass to get for some people? Yes. Can you get it? Yes. Is it just overpriced? Fuck yeah. So in today's context, right now as we film this on September 15th, 2025, that is actually a 9 out of 10. I totally agree with that cycle. I would probably push the test up a little bit, honestly, in that situation. I don't really know him as well. Like, Brandon was a previous client, so I know where he was at, why he was running more DHT than he was test. This guy converts fine. I'd say go ahead, move the test up a little. And the topic of the thumbnail. Bodybuilding with Aaron Burke. You know, Mr. RP himself. 700 tests, 400 EQ, 10 IUs of GH with vitamin C for health. Now, I think the vitamin C is the real game changer there. Definitely need some vitamin C and vitamin D in your life. You know, you gotta get some of that too. Definitely need to read some more Hammer too to help his cognition be locked in for his lifts. But I think that is a completely fine stack. There's no need to go above it. Aaron has ran much higher doses before. He said on our podcast, he was telling us he was running up to, I think, 700 Tren at one point. Just to try to push the high doses. I feel like everybody needs to do that once just to kind of see, you know, how it feels, because everybody's tempted. Some guys do grow really well on high doses, and that's what they need to push them over the top. Like, you see Chase Irons, like Chase put on like fucking 40 pounds in a year or whatever by pushing his doses super high. Some guys, they just feel like shit with the doses high, so it's not fucking worth it. If this is your career, something you're really working towards, yes, it does make sense to push once in a while just to see. Aaron realized it made him feel like shit. He grows better on lower doses. That's perfectly fine. Like, a lot of this is a trial and error, man. Like, you're not gonna have one set protocol for every person, and that's something that guys don't understand test too well, unfortunately. And I see it a lot with my coaching. Like, guys will come into my inbox that aren't clients, and they're going to tell me, I'm going to run this, and this because somebody told me to. I'm like, have you done your blood work? No. What the fuck are we doing? Come join my program. I cover your blood work. I cover your peptides for free inside the program. And then we go ahead, we build everything out for you. Make sure that you're making progress every single damn week. Dial in your doses, dial in your blood work, dial in your diet, dial in your training, mindset coaching. You get access to the school for free, which is once again our educational platform that Coach Colton and I have built. If you don't know who the fuck he is, go give him a follow too. We built our content creation course in there too. If you're wondering how to get into content creation like this or Instagram and want to build your own online business, there's a course in there for that too, because you know what, we like to give back to people, so we have all this shit in there. You get access to it for free inside my program, or the school is $124 a month if you want to join just the school for itself. You know, most people will charge you $10K for a fucking course. We're charging you $124 for it, so take that as you will. If you need proof, go to RunBiz Coaching on Instagram. He's got 55,000 followers. He took our course and went from 400 followers to 20K in a month. So you know, shit does work, but people want to say it's a fucking scam, so it is what it is. You know, now that Garrett's made almost $100,000 this year, you know, tell me it's a fucking scam. Joe saying that's not an income claim. I'm not saying those are normal results. I mean, have all of us made over 6 figures already? Yes, but take with it what you will. Take with it what you will. But if you're interested in coaching, go ahead and sign up in the links down below. I'll put both the school and my coaching link down there. Go ahead and apply if you want to work with me directly, or if you want to join the school, click that link also. So back to Aaron's cycle. Yes, this is a great fucking cycle. About a gram. That's all he needs to grow. And he has it dialed in. 10 IUs of GH. Spot on. EQ works fine. I know right now Primo is a pain in the ass to get, as we said. So 10 out of 10 for the circumstances, honestly. Jaden Bradley 2. 650 test, 500 EQ, 400 mass. I'm seeing a lot of like reverse ratios with more DHT than test. Well, I mean, EQ is not technically DHT, but estrogen nuking compounds versus test, let's put it that way. 8 IUs of GH, and then Slim pre-post training. I mean, that's fucking spot on too. Are you one of Colton's clients? Because that seems very Colton-like. Obviously, he prefers 10 IUs of GH, but that's almost exactly his usual growth protocol. So if you are, yeah, I mean, that seems spot on. And my growth protocols are pretty fucking similar too. Insulin's not always needed. I feel like it's very contextual versus how many carbs I need and what their goals are. Like, I have one guy right now using it, and he's just pushing for a bodybuilding show, trying to have one big bulk. So we're just kind of throwing the kitchen sink at him, trying to get him as big as possible. And he's honestly heavier than when he started with me, and still leaner. Like, he still has fucking better abs than when he started. He's already way bigger, way heavier. It's kind of fucking crazy to see the difference. Not saying that Slim itself is making that difference. Obviously, there's compounds in there, there's GH, there's hard training, there's food, etc. But it's kind of wild to see the difference if you have all those vectors working together and what the look can be afterwards. I like it. I like it a lot, honestly. I love it. So I'd say the only thing I'd say, if this is a big growth phase, you might be able to slide in a 19 Nor in there in some capacity, even at a low dose, just to get that little bit of extra activation at the receptors, you know, just that one last vector, just to make sure that we're hitting everything possible to make this a good growth phase. So I'm going to give it like a 9.5. Ayo Laird, 350T, 250 mast. That's pretty standard. I mean, there's nothing I can say. I'll give it a 9. There's this straightforward. It's me, Caesar. 800 test, 600 EQ, 600 deca, 5 IUs GH, insulin pre and post, 1 IU per 1 gram of carb. Now that is a hefty fucking cycle. We need to do a quick profile. Of course, they're always fucking private. He looks more like a men's physique or classic physique guy, honestly. If you do okay with Deca, I guess that's fine. I don't see too many guys that do that well on that high of a Deca dose, honestly. But if that's your prerogative and you feel good on it, then go ahead. It's a hefty dose, honestly. But if he's doing okay, like that's fine. That structure is actually fine. I just think the doses are a little bit on the high side, but I'm not going to dock him too much for it. I don't really know what his look is and if he needs that much gear, how his diet and etc. are. There's a lot of other variables there that haven't been covered, but I'd say just from a cycle review standpoint, we'll give it an 8. And the last one this time around. Surprisingly, no shitty cycles for once, guys. I like this. Like, I love it! It's not as entertaining as shitting on the fucking horrible ones, but this is pretty good. 500 test, 500 primo, 200 MVP, 4 IUs of GH, 16 weeks, lean bulk if blood markers allow. Now, there's no such thing as a lean bulk. Every bulk should be fairly lean. You shouldn't be a fat, bloated piece of shit looking like a fat fucking log out there. You don't need to look like fucking Lizzo at the end of your goddamn bulk, if we're being fucking honest. So, because of that, we're gonna look at this as a 16-week bulk. So, if you're worried about staying lean for only 16 weeks, that's not a very very long bulk. So you might need to make sure your diet's dialed in, you know, maybe look into coaching if you're really not sure if you're going to overdo this. But the GH is a little low. I would try to run a little bit more if you're really trying to push. And looks like he's pushing. He's got some pretty high doses on there. It's over a gram. It's not anything crazy, but I would run that bulk longer. I would get leaner beforehand if you feel like it's going to be something to get you fat in the first place. So if you are one of those people that feels like you can only bulk for 16 weeks, you're not lean enough. Start bulk. Get down to 8% body fat, 8 to 10%, somewhere in there, where you give yourself more runway. You give yourself a full like 6 months to fucking put on tissue instead of putting on a bunch of water weight and some fat and a little bit of muscle. And by the end, you put on 1 or 2 pounds of tissue, maybe at the end of 4 months. And a lot of people will go straight from their bulk into a cut and they end up losing some of the tissue they accrued anyway, so they don't put a holding phase in there, let everything kind of settle, solidify, and then reverse out. You immediately try to fucking pull calories back. So there's a whole science to it. Once again, if you need to know more information about that, it's in the school. We did a full ass nutrition, how to cut, how to bulk course in there, and that itself is probably 5 to 10 hours of content. So Armando, that might be where you need to go if you're not sure. Cycle structure is okay. I just always worry anytime I see a super short bulk. I mean, cut wise, it should only take you 16 to 20 weeks to get fairly lean, honestly. But from a bulk standpoint, you want to be able to run that a lot longer. So I'm going to give you like a 7 out of 10 total, just because that is a little bit of a red flag when I do see that typically. So that about wraps this one up, guys. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any questions down below. If you want to have your cycles rated, go ahead, drop them either down below in the comments or throw them on my Instagram story. That's where I put these every single week, and then we go ahead and do those. Sometimes I don't get enough of them, so I just don't do a YouTube video on the side with it. But I plan on doing a little bit more YouTube here. I kind of got burned out with YouTube for a while, to be honest with you. It's just one of those things where it goes in cycles because I'm running a full business at the same time as doing my lives on here, running the school, doing lives on there, etc., etc. And then I just wanted to play fucking Borderlands 4, man. It came out, and I only get to play Borderlands like every 5 to 8 years, somewhere in there. So I was like, you know, I'm taking a couple days just to have fun. So that's where I was last week. I was playing fucking Borderlands. Hate me for it. Sorry about the content, but we should have some fun stuff coming up. I'm thinking about moving my Natty Index videos over to YouTube, see how they perform there. Also going more in depth on how many feet of meat all these fucking influencers suck off to get to where they're at. Because a lot of these guys just, the more you learn, the more you realize they ride a lot of D in order to get to where they are. It's more about who you know than how good your actual content is a lot of times, as you find out, because you look at creators that make awesome content all the time and see how many videos they have to put out to finally get to a certain level. And you look at these fucking low life mouth breathers that have like 1 million followers and don't post anything of value. It's kind of like, the fuck is going on here, you know? Yeah, the more you get into the social media stuff, the more you realize that does have a little bit of a wild side to it. So it's always fun to poke fun back at them and see what the response is on it. So let me know what you guys think about those two. If you've seen them on Instagram, you know what I mean. But I'll possibly post one here in the next week or so and let you guys get exposed to the feet of meat calculator and see exactly what I mean on that.